Hey guys, I'm gonna go over my Back9 really quick on my second account, Richdolla, and this is the one I shot a 15 front nine, and I didn't record it live because I was really not feeling it last night. I was super tired, and you can really see that through how I played because I made some pretty stupid errors. But we're still gonna go through it and look at some of the shots I had because I still did some good stuff. All right, so hole one, I'm pretty sure I played it the same way, sliced it over. Since I went in the bunker on the front nine, I only used like 2 1/4 top spin here and full right spin with a Titan. And using a Titan compared to a Snowman, I think I actually like the distance more. Like not being so far right. And I think when I play it on my main account, I am gonna actually take off a little more topspin and not curl it as much. Because I want to try and get like more left right there. And preferably, I'd rather have like a min distance thorn shot or over like a max distance endbringer. Because I'm just way more comfortable doing min distance thorn shots. The same thing goes for hole 8. Like I could probably easily get to a max distance endbringer shot, but I'm just a lot more comfortable with the thorn. All right, so this shot I figured I was about like 3/4 distance, and then I kind of got stuck up messing with this spin and not knowing if the ball was gonna go too long or sit right in front of the cup, and I ended up putting it right on the hole. And then by this time I was about to time out, and I just moved it a little, and I'm pretty sure I just kind of guessed this adjustment randomly. I tried adjusting for around 7, and then I hit a great left, and I think that would have gone in if I hit perfect. Alright, so I screwed that hole up, but I'm hoping I haven't hit that. I hit that hole one time from the rough, eagling it the very first day on the qualifier, and I haven't gotten it since. So I'm hoping I can make something happen either on my opening round on my main account or especially in the weekend round. I'd really love to get something to work. Now, this hole, I don't know what I was thinking here. The wind, this is the biggest wind I've seen yet, and I still fully overpowered it. And well, you'll see what happens. I ended up hitting the rough and ended up in that bunker, so I had no shot whatsoever of making the green in two. Just clipped the rough by like an ass hair. Then I just laid this Malibu shot up to the fairway. Now this shot for the thorn, I'm trying to size it up right here. And see, I was really close to min distance, so I'm pretty sure I did about a min distance adjustment here, which would be like adjusting for like 5.2 wind, which is a little less than 3 rings. And I'm aiming about 1 square behind the cup. hit perfect, and then I actually went in off the bounce. So that means I should have actually adjusted more. So that was like a 3/4 adjustment. But I saved the eagle there. I'm just gonna fast forward through the shootouts. Alright, so on this hole, I had an 8.1 wind. I think I moved 2 squares to the left, like I have been. But I actually ended up missing about 1 square right, and like a tad bit short. So I was aiming a bit short here. So having that third bounce hit that line with 7 bars of backspin actually isn't far enough up. So then I adjusted fully for the wind. Yeah, and I missed about 1 square. So that means if the wind is over 8, I have to adjust 3 squares. Gonna have to remember that. This hole, too, I don't know what. I really don't know what was wrong with me last night. But this one didn't go that well either. I did the drive the same way, but I think I ended up playing a little bit too far right, and that really kind of screwed me up because I could, on my approach shot with the sniper, for some reason I could not, for the life of me, get the spin right. And I ended up almost timing out because of it, and I ended up just having to take the shot, knowing I wouldn't be getting in the hole because I couldn't get the line to the hole. Alright, here it is. So, I did the same approach, I think, about like 4 backspin and 2 right. And then for some reason I wasn't happy with this ending past the hole, and then I started tinkering with it. And then, oh, rewatching it now, I see what the problem was. I was on 5 backspin, and for some reason I thought I was on 4. And I was wondering why I couldn't get the ball guide up to the hole. Well, that's why. Never play tired, guys. It doesn't do you good. I always play so bad when I'm tired. Just really stupid mistakes like that. Alright, now on to hole 15. Or no, 14, I'm sorry. Doing the same shot with the Guardian approach. I learned from watching Zach Jones' video. And I'm doing like full backspin and 2 left spin. And I'm trying to aim about 2 cups short. But after the first time I played this, I hit great right. And I was actually in line with the cup, but I was just too short. And now this time I ended up hitting perfect, but I missed really bad left. I think next time I'm not going to use any left spin and just use backspin and aim more right of the hole. because that shot missed pretty bad left. I mean, still a safe birdie, and I'm really not expecting to get a hole in one on this hole, but a birdie, well, I mean, a hole in one would definitely be nice. But this is definitely the hardest par 3 out of all of them. Alright, now on to hole 15. Now I did the same setup here that I had done about, like, I took off like a quarter bar of topspin because it was a 10.3 wind. And I remembered before when I had a 10-mile-an-hour wind, I had just clipped the rough. So I thought taking off that quarter bar of topspin would be enough. And I ended up hitting perfect. And I just missed the rough here. And end up going in the water, getting wet. Okay, let's try it again. Same wind. Same exact wind. 10.3. And let me back this up a bit. So I took off another half bar topspin. I'm doing like 2.25. I figured, hey, I just missed the rough last time. How can taking off like another half bar topspin? I should be good. So line up same way. Take the same exact shot. Hoping I hit the rough this time and roll out, and then best hope, try and salvage the eagle. Actually, somehow managed to hit 2 perfect overpowers in a row. And then the same exact thing happened. Luckily, my opponent saved me for a birdie. Otherwise, I would have been getting a par on this hole. And then at this point, I just took out a basic ball and was screwing around. And then he ended up getting his eagle, and I got lucky and got a birdie here. But man, this round was just going rough for me so far. And I was really just tanking it after that 15 front. But this goes to show you guys, I'm usually play pretty good, but I still have my moments where I can play awful and I can get really down on myself and not do as good as I'd hope. But when you get down on yourself and you start getting those negative mindsets, and I wanted to actually watch this. This guy ended up hitting a hole in one, and I wasn't paying attention at the time, and I wanted to see his setup. So we're gonna watch this really quick. All right, 5 backspin. How much right spin was that? Five back and 3 right. Where did he play? Alright, he's hitting further up than we are. He's hitting in front of the hill we're playing. And they add a little bit of left curl. Nice shot. I don't even remember how this shot went, actually. I mean, I'm sure I played it the same way about... I know I didn't ace it or anything. Alright, I did the same setup, like 4 back and 4 left. And then, looks like... aimed about 3 squares left of the hole for that trajectory change. Then adjusted the full 8.3. Oh, I had another great right. Oh yeah, and I just missed it left. I feel like great right is like the answer to getting a hole in one here because I almost hit it there, and then the one time I did hit great right, I did hit the hole in one. Alright, so at this point I'm 23 after 16. And this hole I'm doing the same approach I have been, full top spin with about 3 right spin. And I'm not going to be overpowering the drive at all because I'm trying to hit the rough and rough bump out into the fairway. So I have about a mid distance thorn or mid distance. And remember this drive, and a lot of the drives on this course play about 133% wind or so for the elevation change. So this 9 mile an hour wind, I in my head basically think, okay, what's 3 parts of 9? So 3 times 3 is 9, and then I add another 3 miles per hour to that 9. So I'm playing at like a 12 mile per hour wind. And I ended up hitting great left, and I was still okay and got out into the fairway and rolled actually pretty decently out. And on this shot I'm actually at min distance for the thorn, and I actually considered playing the endbringer there, but I would have had to use topspin, and I just wasn't really as comfortable with it, so I stuck with my normal approach here. And I had that flashy ball guide further back, so that's why I pushed it more forward so I don't have to deal with that just in case. Whenever you have a flashy ball guide like that, you want to find a flat surface because if you're playing it off that flashy spot, you can very easily, it can do what you want it to do and it'll roll through it, or it can also stop really short like it's doing in the flicker. But on that shot, I lined it up with the wind. I think I used like 1 or 2 left side spin, whatever I needed to straighten it out with the wind. And I believe 1 bar of backspin, and then I adjusted 50% of the wind there, so it was like 7.3. So I adjusted about 2 rings, like a little less than 2 rings, I think, which the thorn is 1.9 per ring. Alright, now we're going into hole 9. And I realized something when I was playing this hole. There's definitely 2 big wind directions you can get. And one of them that's better is when it's facing more left. But on the front 9 of this account and on the back 9 right here, I get a wind that has a little more right slant to it. And if you remember from the front 9 of my opening round, I ended up being short. And I couldn't really figure out why, and now I'm realizing this is why. That wind is more right. So it kind of counteracts that slice when it's coming back in with all that speed. It slows it down, and it doesn't have as much momentum behind it. So I didn't end up making it to the green on this shot. The same exact thing happened. I didn't clear the rough with it. But I'm still in a pretty decent position. I have a almost downwind endbringer shot to save the albatross. So at 10.6 wind, I think I backed it up here and used like 1 bar of topspin. Figured I was at about like half distance, so 50% of the wind. Backed it up so the end of this ball guide was going right in the hole. There I was just checking to make sure I was on a flat surface. And then aimed it right in the hole, and then I think I had just about 5 rings here. Yeah, so that's like 5.5, so I adjusted like a hair more than half. And then I saved the albatross right there. So overall I finished this opening round on Richdolla with a 28, 15 front 9, and a 13 back 9. Which, with that birdie I got on 16, or 15, I'm sorry. Yeah, with the birdie I got on 15, and just overall how I made a few mistakes and really stupid errors, I'm actually happy with it. Could have been a lot worse. And I feel really solid going into the weekend round shooting a 28. And I still have my main account to go. And I'm going to be live streaming that later tonight. And we'll see how that goes. But I just wanted to get this video out there really quick just to include the back 9 for you guys. And I know there isn't as much information in this, but the main reason I wanted to get this video out and posted is just to show you that, everyone does make mistakes, and you just gotta have a positive mindset when things start going wrong. And your biggest enemy, and not just this game, but anything really in life, is gonna be yourself, and you're gonna get in your own way a lot. And you just gotta try and learn to stay positive and get through it and not get down on yourself. And if you do make a mistake on one hole, you just gotta leave it at that hole and not take that to the next hole. Take a break from the game, do something, just walk away from it a little if you're pissed off or whatever. Or, having sitting on your pity pot, because it's just gonna make you do worse. And I'm speaking from firsthand experience. I still have my moments, but I used to be really bad and negative, and everything was out to get me. And then once I started being more positive and trying to actually notice when I was getting in those mindsets and actually working on not doing that, I all of a sudden started seeing my gameplay change, and I started becoming a lot better of a player. But I will catch you guys later.